This is Bridge with Stephen. Today we're going to tackle the topic of weak twos. Weak twos are limited and mildly preemptive two-level opening bids or jump over calls that have little defensive value. We're promising a 6-card suit. The range that you choose to use is up to you. I've chosen 6 to 10 here, but 5 to 11 is common also. 6 to 10 high card points. Most of them will be in your long suit. And this means you won't have two high cards like an ace and a king outside of your suit. You also should not make the weak two bid with a void, and you shouldn't have more than one singleton. And we're advised not to do this with a 4-card major. But I should add that Larry Cohen will break both of these rules. He will open a weak two with a void, and he will with a 4-card major, especially if it's very weak, like maybe 4 hearts to the 9. So there are different opinions about this, but this is the most commonly given advice. Now we're going to look at suit quality and hand quality separately. First we're talking about just the 6-card suit. Next we're talking about how the whole hand looks together, all 13 cards. This is a good way of looking at or describing suit quality. An excellent suit is a 6-card suit with all 3 of the top honors, the ace, king, and the queen, meaning there are no losers in the suit. And this would be a typical suit that fits this description. We call the suit good if it's just slightly below this. We've got 2 of the top 3 honors, meaning 1 loser in the suit. And here would be 3 examples of such suits. This one has the ace and the king, but not the queen. This one has the ace and the queen, but not the king. And this one is missing the ace, but has the king and the queen. So these would all be considered good suits. An intermediate suit is slightly worse than this. It would be 2 of the top 4 honors, or maybe 3 of the 5. So there's going to be 2 losers in this suit. And then finally, the weak suit, 2 of the top 5 honors, or maybe even worse than that, meaning there's 2 or 3 losers in the suit. Would you open a weak 2 with a suit headed by the jack? Well, if you would call that a weak suit. Now, hand quality. A minimum weak 2 opening bid or jump over call will have closer to the 6-point range, and will typically have 9 losers. This would be a typical hand. If we open 2 spades with this hand, we would call this a minimum because we have 2 losers in spades, 2 in hearts, 2 in diamonds, that's 6, and 3 in clubs. That's 9 losers and 4, 5, 6 high card points. Typical minimum weak 2. The average weak 2 opening bid will be about 8 points and 8 losers, and this would be a typical hand that would fit into that category. We might open this hand 2 diamonds. We've got 1 and 4 is 5, 6, 7, 8 points. We've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losers, okay? Average week 2 opening bid. And then finally a maximum is 10 points and 7 losers. So this would be such a hand. We've got an ace, a king, a queen, and a jack, that's 10 points. We got 2 losers in spades, 1 in hearts is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a maximum opening week 2. Now, when do we come in and make a week 2 opening bid or overcall? Well, 2 factors that will be considered are going to be the vulnerability of the position, as well as these factors. When we're vulnerable, we prefer to be in the high end of our 6 to 10 range, and this little plus sign up here after the 8 means a good 8 to 10. Position. If we're in first or second seats, we should not open weak 2s with weak suits with only 2 of the top 3 honors or worse. Personally, I prefer that the suit be at least good. I would like to know that partner has 2 of the top 3 honors when partner makes a weak 2 bid in first or second seat, especially if vulnerable. Okay, when we're in third seat, funny things can happen because partner's already a passed hand. So at this point, we can adapt our criteria for bidding. We can bid with hands that are stronger or weaker than we would normally. So, for example, with maybe only 4 points and 6 spades to 10, if the bidding's gone pass, you might open that hand 2 spades anyway because you know left-hand opponent is planning to come in. If you're so weak and the 2 players before you have passed. On the other hand, you might also make a weak 2 bid. For example, partner has passed, right-hand opponent has bid 1 diamond, and you have maybe 11, 12, 13 points. You might still jump to 2 spades with a 6-card spade suit, just be interfering. Because once again, once partner is passed, you can play these hands a little bit differently. Now in 4th seat, we don't make a weak 2 bid. If we make a 2-level opening bid in 4th seat, we should be stronger than the 6 to 10 that we would have for a weak 2. If you have a 6 to 10 point hand in the 4th seat and a 6-card suit, just pass. You'll probably do better in the long run taking the 0 than the likely negative score if you open the bidding there. Okay, but this will usually be a 6-card suit too. If the bidding goes pass, 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 and you're in 4th seat and open 2 hearts, you should have a 6-card suit with 10 to 14 points, a good 10. Now we're going to look at the weak 2 bidder's partner's response and the weak 2 bidder's first rebid. First, I want you to look at this abbreviation RONF, which stands for Raise Only Non-Forcing. This is probably the commonest way to play responses to weak 2 bids. What that means is that any bid that's not a raise is forcing. So if you make, let's say, a weak 2 heart opening bid, if I bid 3 hearts, that's not forcing. If I bid 4 hearts, that's not forcing. Raises are non-forcing. In fact, raises should be passed. But new suits and no trump bids after, say, your 2 hearts, if I bid 3 clubs or 2 no trump, those bids are going to be forcing. If we agree to those rules, then we're playing what's called raise only non-forcing. And it should be noticed, as I said, raises not only should be passed, they probably must be passed. If you bid 2 hearts, and my right-hand opponent makes a takeout double, and I bid 3 hearts, I'm doing what's called extending the preempt. I am not inviting you to game. You should never raise that to 4 hearts. Okay, because the weak 2 bidder never bids again unless forced, and that's true with any preempts. If we were talking about 3-level opening bids or even 4-level opening bids, we don't make one of those bids and then make another bid again unless we're forced. Okay, let's look at the options for responder. Responder can make a simple raise, say 2 spades, 3 spades, and as I said, we call that extending the preempt. It's basically just intended to keep the opponents out. It generally shows about 6 to 12 points, and this might be a typical hand. Partners made a weak 2 spade opening bid. You got 3-card support, 9 high card points in the form of 3 kings, and so you raise to 3 spades. Remember, partner is expected to pass that bid. It's not an invitation. Or we can make a jump raise. Suppose partner comes in, makes an opening bid of 2 hearts. We might bid 4 hearts under one of 2 circumstances. One is when we're weak. We're making a preemptive bid. We're promising 4-card support, and we're not expecting to make this contract. We're basically sacrificing and using up as much space as we can. If the opponents want to come in now and bid 4 spades, they can try that, but that might not be a good place for them, and we have successfully preempted. On the other hand, there are times when we would bid up to the 4 level expecting to make the contract, and that's when we have a strong hand. And a lot of people like to use what's called the rule of 17, where they add up their high card points and the number of support of partners' long suit that they have. And if that total is 17 or more, then they will raise to the 4 level, assuming we're talking about a major. You probably don't want to do that if the suit is diamonds. So for example, in this hand we got 3, 5, 7, 10, 11, 14 points. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 high card points, and 2-card support for partner's hearts, so 15 plus 2 is 17, so the bidding might go 2 hearts, 4 hearts. Now, here's an exploratory bid, 2 no trump. It's forcing because it's artificial. It's not an invitation to play a no trump. It has nothing to do with no trump. It's just basically asking a partner to describe his or her hand a little bit better. And it should probably have about 16 points. You're interested in the possibility of game or maybe even slam. So if the weak 2 bidder has a minimum, 6 to about 8, then the weak 2 bidder rebids the long suit. So 2 hearts, 2 no trump. With this hand, 3 hearts. On the other hand, with a maximum, a good 8 to 10, some people like to play this as saying, show me a feature. What do you have outside of your long suit that I might need to use as an entry to get over there and run your long suit, say if I want to play a no trump. So 8 good points to 10 asks the weak 2 opener to show a side suit, ace or king, if any, by bidding that suit. But having no side suit, ace or king, bid 3 no trump. So for example, suppose your hand was nothing but 6 hearts to the ace, king, queen. You have an excellent suit, you've got 9 high card points, but you don't have an outside ace or king, so if you had opened that suit at the 2 level and partner bid 2 no trump, you would then bid 3 no trump. Okay, and another option is that responder can bid a new suit. Of course, this is natural. It's going to be showing a 5 card or lower suit. It's forcing because we've agreed that only raises are non-forcing and everything else is forcing. And this is a little bit weaker than this 2 no trump, which was showed about 16 points. This one can be done with just an opening hand. And we're exploring for maybe a better place to bid, a better place to play. So opener raises or splinters with 3 card support. What I mean by splinters is bids a 3rd suit. Suppose I open 2 hearts and you bid 2 spades. If I've got spade support in shortness and diamonds, I can now bid 3 diamonds, and we can agree that that's a splinter. It's showing 3 card support for your suit and side suit shortness. Without that side suit shortness, I would just simply raise your suit. It would go 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 spades. But that's showing support. Absent that, if you can't do that, opener rebids his or her long suit with a minimum, or 3 no trump with a maximum. So it's a little bit like what we just discussed up above here. And then finally, pass is always an option. Partner opens 2 spades and you've got this hand. There's no point in bidding 3 diamonds now. There's no point in bidding anything else. There's not really much hope of game, and it's very unlikely you're going to end up in a better place than 2 spades. So just go ahead and pass this bid. Now, the last topic we're going to discuss is how we defend against the opponent's weak 2 opening bid. Your right-hand opponent is opened at the 2 level. One option you have is to make a takeout double, which says that you're short in their suit, and you have support for all unbid suits, which is what any takeout double means, and that's not different now. Now, this is an interesting and easy convention to use. Leventhal, after takeout doubles of weak 2s. If the partnership plays this is an option when advancer bids 2 no trump when weak. So the bidding might go 2 hearts to my left, takeout double over here, pass. When I have a weak hand, I'm going to bid 2 no trump, and I'm expecting the takeout double to bid 3 clubs. 2 no trump is a relay to 3 clubs. And then I either pass that if that's my suit, or I corrected diamonds or spades if that's my suit. When the opponents are bidding hearts, I would not be bidding hearts. It would either be diamonds or spades. And you have been alerted to the fact that I'm weak and you should pass because I made the Leventhal 2 no trump call. On the other hand, when I'm stronger than that, and I might even be interested in game, I will bid my suit directly. So left-hand opponent makes that same 2 heart, weak 2 opening bid. Partner makes that same takeout double. Opener's partner passes. And if I bid 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, or spades directly, I'm saying I have a better hand, and I'm inviting us to go on. Okay, another option that we have when defending against a weak 2 is to make a suit overcall. We're promising a 5 card suit. Now, if we make a non-jump overcall, if we can do that at the 2 level, a weak 2 diamonds from the opponent, 2 hearts, we need 10 to 15 points. If we have to go to the 3 level, say the opening bid was 2 hearts and we want to show diamonds, this is also a non-jump overcall in a new suit, but we need to be a little stronger. So we probably want to be about 13 to 15 points if we're making this bid at the 3 level. These are the non-jump suit overcalls. Now here are the jump overcalls in a new suit. If we can do this at the 3 level, such as 2 hearts from the opponents, 3 spades, this is showing the hand that's better than this one, 16 plus points. There's also an interesting bid here for showing 2 suited hands. This is a form of what's called leaping Michaels. 2 hearts, 4 clubs. That bid is showing a 5-5 shape in the spades and clubs. I won't spend much time talking about that, but there are a variety of bids in the Leaping Michaels series. Some of them are over weak 2s, some of them are over 3 level preemptive opening bids. We can also overcall a no trump, which shows 15 to 18 high card points, so 2 hearts, 2 no trump, and a stopper in their suit. Oh, here's another example, 2 spades, 2 no trump. We're promising 15 to 18 high card points and spades stopped. What constitutes spades being stopped? That's a judgment call. Would you do it with ace jack third? Maybe. Would you do it with just ace third? Maybe. I'd feel better with two stoppers, ace king or ace queen, but whatever you consider a stopper, you need to have it. And then finally, we can make Q bids of the weak two bid. If we do that at the 3 level, such as 2 hearts from our right-hand opponent, a 3-heart bid at this point could have 1 or 2 meanings depending on partnership agreement. It's usually what's called a Western Q bid, which is asking partner to bid 3 no trump with a heart stopper. But some people would play this as a Michael's Q bid, so it would be showing spades and an undisclosed minor. That's your choice. On the other hand, if it's a jump Q bid, if you make the Q bid at the 4 level, this is usually leaping Michaels again. So a 2-heart bid on my right, 4 hearts for me is showing 5-5 shape in the minors, for example. And if this bid was 2 diamonds and I jumped to 4 diamonds, I'm showing 5-5 shape in the majors. Leaping Michaels is an interesting topic, but it's not our main topic today, so I'm not going to spend much more time talking about it. One more thing I want to say, coming back to this 2 no trump bid. There are 2 other ways for opener to understand 2 no trump. One is called August. August is a little bit like Blackwood in the sense that Blackwood has a series of steps above the 4 no trump bid that show progressively better hands. That's also true with August. When you make a weak 2 opening bid and partner bids 2 no trump, if you're playing August, 3 clubs says I have a weak hand and a weak suit. 3 diamonds says I have a weak hand and a better suit. 3 hearts would say I have a good hand with a bad suit, and good hand here means the maximum, good 8 to 10, and etc. That's one way to play this. And there's another form of August called modified August, where the answers are based on losing trick count rather than points. So, for example, after 2 hearts, 2 no trump, with say 8 losers, I believe the bid there is 3 hearts. It's a system, if you're interested, you can look that up on the internet as well, modified August. Okay, that's it for today.